I know why. Wise men don't speak. Spiritual warfare. They are afraid. If their vibration reaches readable frequencies, they might pay attention again. And they don't ever want to be noticed in that way. Many people will describe their experience by referring to those who are their opposers as they. And smartasses they are. We'll say to them, who is they? Who are they? Well, they, I'm about to tell the world who you are. So now, you don't have to try to be condescending to your victims. Because your victims will know who you are and will be able to describe you by position, by religion, by relative, by association, by company. It's going to be so very easy for them to be able to determine who they are. I'm going to describe in this next series of videos my experience with spiritual warfare. They say, they say, I passed to the next level. And probably a great deal of people would be thrilled by that. Yeah. See, I'm not. I'm like, who the fuck are you to be able to tell me what level I'm on and that I get to pass? Gave you the position? Who appointed you? My spiritual teacher, coach, tester, analyzer? Who gave you the right to decide my spiritual progress and how many levels I go up and how fast I get to go? Or anyone else in the world for that matter. They, I'm talking to you, they. Can you hear me, they? Are you paying attention, they? You know what I'm talking about. You see, dear public, spiritual warfare is organized by the Christian community. I don't know what, I didn't did as much research as I probably should, before telling you about this, but I do know the national church councils of all the religions come together and they agree to teach only the same thing on the same week, and that the knowledge that was anointed to them don't teach us because it would empower us too much. Instead, they decided, well, we're maybe not making enough money from all the donations that's coming in. So why don't we fucking play people games with our members of our congregation? And we could use the government sanctioned program engineered just solely for the church community. Gang stalking. And the targets will make them targets like in a video game. And then people from satellites, from CCTV cameras, on the public streets, and footage from our very own ghost cameras, our demon cameras. We can play video games with our lost sheep to try to get them back to home or to the church. It'll be so much fun, and we'll make so much money betting on these people. And then we'll be able to jack off when they go home or wherever they're at. When they have sex, we'll be able to record it, and we'll be able to sell it on the dark web. Yes, a church community, the National Council of Churches. A collection of all the world religion joined together in one accord, agreeing to teach the same thing. Wow. Wow. So, here you go. They marketed it to the United States military or government, and they decided to just sanction it over to the military and let the military run its shit. And the military police it. They kind of like being the referee for the fuckery. Even if they see the fuckery, they can't do anything about it because of separation between church and state. So what the fuck good are you, United States military? And it served them well, because if they ever needed to kill somebody, they could throw them into one of their programs of the churches and let the church kill them. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Not one word of a fucking lie. United States military, World National Church Council. Not a lie. Everything I said is the exact, honest to God truth. And if it's not, I dare you to come on here and challenge me on it, and I'll prove it to you. Right before God and the angels. You'll hear it straight from heaven that I'm telling you the whole truth. From what I recall, spiritual warfare is a necessary part of the human development. It is. Helps the mind. open up new areas of expansion. I mean, the world is only but so big. It's in the mind where there is no limit. And that is what God intended. Creator, universe, however you believe you got here. Your full intention for existing is to become the most expanded being you can ever become, while your soul occupied the space and time period in which you existed in this dimension. You want to know your purpose? Become. Become. That's all. Just become. Those who believe in God, Jehovah, His name, causes to become. And if you're His children, made in His image, their image, you do the same. You become. That's your sole purpose. Not the obligation of man, purpose of man. Never stop becoming. Somewhere in the stream of things, the churches got together and decided they were going to decide who got to go through spiritual warfare. And mainly it was because there were some very, very jealous, hateful witches, and literal witches, because the witches weren't the problem back in the Salem witch trials. The witches were not the problem. It was the Christians that were the problem, who were the fake Christians, who were pretending like they weren't witches, but they were. They were the one doing all of the witchcraft. And the heresy of the practicing witchcraft has everything to do with was the reason why we have separation between church and state. The sole purpose of the separation between church and state, the churches had to agree to keep the people, the population, their members, and as many of their members as possible, away from spiritism or energy manipulation. And then the governments will control who got to understand and know about spellcasting, voodoo, spiritism, and energy manipulation. I.e., secret societies. I told your biggest secret. Every one of you has the same secret. Don't you? How to manipulate energy. It's a wonderful secret. And it's an amazing, masterful skill to have, to be able to use as a human being. With purpose or intention. Because all of us manipulate energy every single day. Every day you wake up in the morning, you're manipulating energy. But if you can do it with intention, those pop-ups in your video games, the world you could build will be just like that. You can form the world around you to look the way you want to. And just saying that sentence can explain to you why. Our leaders did not want a world of energy manipulators, skillful energy manipulators. Especially, I mean, the kids that are coming in today, since the millennial generations, third eye half open from the millennial generations, and then you pretty much the babies coming out now, their eyes are completely open. They will be walking, the babies could run for president. I mean, really, if they had allowed us to become skilled at it. There's no way a man would have a king. There's no way a man would vote for a fucking president. No, he wouldn't do nothing shit like that. Not at all. Every man would be his own kingdom. He would have his friends. It are the people that he ruled. That's how it go. His queen, his subjects, his community would be his kingdom. There'd be no way a president or anybody would be able to tell this man what to do in his kingdom. So no, there'd be no voting. There'd be no president. There'd be no leaders. Every man would know his own strength and his power to manifest. Every man would know. So, the whole reason is to keep us away from it. And I have my own opinion about it. I kind of agree with them, especially when I see what these amateurs are doing right now and how not respecting the universe and its laws before tampering with something so volatile, worse than an atomic bomb, worse than anthrax, worse than anything. You're gonna sit up and touch something you know nothing about. Child's play. Okay. Either way. This is the way it was supposed to be. Churches were supposed to keep us far away from spiritism and doing anything with demonics or energy, manipulating energy. We're not supposed to do it. So they got to control everything. And then when they're showing the government how they're making so much money by betting on the targets, and then how they love to just, they didn't care if you wasn't an active member in the congregation anymore. They kind of welcomed that because that added to more people on the target list. And the more people that were on the target list, that means there were more opportunities to get life insurance policies on these individuals because they knew exactly what the fuck they was about to do to them. They're going to kill them. Let the family take a life insurance policy out on them. Let the church take a life insurance. Let everybody and their mama take a life insurance policy on this new target because we're about to kill it. We'll play with it and toy with it like a cat does with a mouse. And then we will end it. And it's so crazy how when I first, and you could go back to my Facebook page and you can see, and beginning from 2020, my first description of being a targeted individual, I described it just as that. The sedition of being treated the way a cat does a mouse. Was the biggest mindfuck. I will fuck you up, I'll tear you up, and I'll let you heal. And then I'm going to come back and play with you again. And then I'll tear you up and let you heal. And then I'll come back and tear you up again. It was that yanking back and forth. That was probably the biggest mindfuck. That's how I described it. And now knowing all the details, I didn't even know half the shit, not even a fraction of the shit that I know now. It was just my own feeling, my energetic feeling, my intuition of what was going on. And how my body was experiencing what was going on. I could feel the people high in the sky, looking down. I knew when guys were jacking off on me. I knew when women were taking great delight in tormenting me. I knew. I could feel all of it. how many ever billion people were looking at me at one given time. I felt everybody's eyes. And then wonder why I couldn't sleep. Anyway. Spiritual warfare. What's supposed to be natural? God never, and nowhere in the Bible, I don't give a fuck what religion you are. And then what do you call it, scriptural text or scrolls or whatever from the history of any recorded experience of mankind or man or human beings. Has there ever been any God that said, hey, I want you humans, you mankind, you reptilians, you whatever creatures to take my subject and throw them through the worst torturous experience? And see how they develop. They need to have that aggression. They need to have this. They need to have that. I've never seen that happen in any recorded history of man. Yet, somewhere in this 20th, 19th century, 21st century, some fucked up human beings decided they're too bored with themselves. Let's fuck with people. Hunger Games. The Game. What's the other movie? Get Out. Those movies. Those are real experiences of gang stalking in America. And what it started from, what the mindset of the hunters are. Yeah, that's real shit. I lived it. And many other people are going to come tell their stories too. The crazy part about this, everybody, is that these people that are supposed to be sending you through some spiritual warfare, to do some spiritual, aggression, and you get this enlightenment and you get all this extra stuff, because, they torture you so fucking bad that God has to step in. There has to be a God. Because if you let these human beings just continue to do what they're doing, they will never get satisfaction, because the mind expands in an insatiable need for something. That is what the mind does. It doesn't never get full. It can't get full. And so when you start doing shit that is not good, it will keep expanding and becoming had an insatiable appetite for something more gross and something more hideous, more insidious. That is the human mind. It's not meant to be satisfied. That's why you're not supposed to put that shit of entertaining sedition. Put all the good stuff and let it get hunger and an insatiable appetite for good things. Not sedition. Like our church leaders of all religions in the freaking world. Not one religion is excluded. Not one. That's why he had already prophesied, get out of her, my people, so you do not suffer the same fate as she. He did not say, get out of her religions that don't have my name. Get out of her religions that don't talk about my son. He didn't say nothing like that. He said, get out of her Babylon the Great, a false religion. Every last one of you are false religion on earth. And you were supposed to turn his people over to him, so that he can do what he said he would do. And 2 Peter 5:10, suffer a little while longer, my children. The God of all undeserved kindness, he himself will finish out your training. Yep. He gave his son for this privilege, to finish out our training. himself. Not by no church, nothing in between. You and God. You and God. And your God of your own fucking understanding is the one who will finish out what you need to know and how you're supposed to finish out experiencing this human existence. And no one has to say about that. And there are going to be people who are going to have something that is going to be totally contrary than your whole human experience. Why? Because it'll be a fucking boring place if everybody had the exact same human experience. He doesn't want us to have the same. He's going to have conflicting experiences so that we can deal with the aggression and the conflict and the contrast. Do we learn from it? Do we grow from it? Do we want it? Do we love it? What does it tell us about ourselves? What does it tell us about the way I want to grow? So if you're going to expect everybody's going to look alike, like you fucking fake mankind motherfuckers, it's not the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to act alike. You're not supposed to dress alike. You're not supposed to be all alike. You're not supposed to. And you're not supposed to serve God alike. For those who want to serve. It's not supposed to be that way. I'm going to keep these to 30 minutes long, and that's it. I'm not going to be like, because I could go on all the shit I've been through. I'm telling you. We'll be talking and talking and talking. I'm going to keep these to 30 minutes. But my experiences that I will detail from beginning to the very fucking minute that I'm standing here now. It's so that I can help others. Recognize when you're under, I'm not going to say spiritual warfare, demonic attack by so-called spiritual people. They're demons. And you want to know how I know they're demons? Because we want to take Job's story. The devil had to go to God and ask for permission to test him. You know why? Because there is a divine protection over his children, the obedient children. That comes with grace. Now, in order for Job to have had those experiences, because his life did not energetically be equivalent to receiving that much karma. It's mathematically, scientifically impossible for him to have received that much karma when he had done nothing that would have energetically made it possible for that energy to whip back around on him and send out that energy. Possible for him to have sent out that much negative energy to receive that much negative energy back. As a reap what you sow. You sowed this energy, you put it out there. That's your creation. And then this is coming back to you as like a baby coming out of a pussy. It's yours. Job didn't do anything that would have created that much tragedy. So God had to be able to remove his protection off of him in order to be touched in that way. That is spiritual warfare. Now, somewhere along the line, these mankind motherfuckers decided they were going to be the devil and go to God and ask to have the protection removed off of somebody they wanted it removed off of. Did you hear what I said? If you are the person orchestrating all the events that will put a person into what you call spiritual warfare, then you're the devil. And you're in devil energy. Because you're the one needing God to remove his protection so that you could torment and torture them to the degree of limitless, insidious, heinous, torturous. I mean, you human, I know why God said he regret making humans. Because the hybrid offshoot of creatures like you, who call yourselves human, but you're not. You're a mankind motherfucker. You are humankind, but you're not human beings. You look like us. You talk like us, and you making all probably think like us. But the one thing you don't have, motherfucker, you don't have a soul like us. And you don't have feelings like us. You do not have a heart like us. You don't have it. You have all